There's one, guys. Oh, that one's pulling good. Out there in the current. He ain't big, but he's pulling good. That barbless hook in there if we can. Oh, not a bad fish. This is gonna surprise you here, folks, when I'm pulling in. Look at here. Look at that, folks. Well, folks, welcome to the Angler's Experience. We got kind of a unique show for you today. This one might be a surprise to most. What we're doing is we're gonna be catching beautiful rainbow trout on a lure that you wouldn't think about using for rainbows, in a place I know you wouldn't think about fishing for rainbows. So you folks stay tuned. We're gonna cover this unique situation. Let's get that fish back.
Angler's Experience is proudly sponsored by Crestliner, leader by innovation. Setter Rods, the American way. Sidewinder planer boards, fight the fish, not the board. Tobler Marina, your one-stop boat shop. Easy Loader, all boat trailers are not created equal. Oxart, your single source supplier. Lincoln Electric, the welding experts. And Honda Marine, it's all about power.
Yeah, that's a good one. There we go. Folks, it's just amazing that these fish live in this type of area. Everybody thinks the trout is hang on buddy, living in pristine waters. Just to give you an idea where we're fishing, folks, that noise you hear, nice rainbow, let's get him back in the water. That noise you hear is thousands and thousands of gallons of treated sewage water right here. That's treated sewage water, guys. I tell you what, it's a spot that I guarantee if you drove by and looked at it, you're gonna be more concerned with rolling up the car windows and plugging your nose and saying ooh than you are about fishing it. And these spots can be some of the greatest trout spots on your river. Right in the middle of a city, thousands of wastewater, treated wastewater coming down, we're catching beautiful rainbow trout. Let's see if we can't get another one. There he is, guys. Oh, a little bullet. Whoa, buddy. Where you going, brother? Come here. Pretty little fish. Look at this fish, guys. You'd equate a fish that's beautiful like this to being in the middle of the mountain somewhere, and that's the setting we all like to catch them in, but I tell you what, fish I've found over my career will live in some very bizarre places. Look at that fish. Beautiful spots on that fish. All right, partner. Get you back in the water. Folks, fish will live in areas. I tell you a little quick story. I was up elk hunting one time, and we got an elk down, in the middle of nowhere, and there was a creek about this big. And we went down and we was washing our hands up and stuff, and I kind of have a fixation with water. I always have, and I can't drive down the road without stopping at a bridge where a river's at and getting out and looking. It's just kind of how I am. But this little tiny creek in the middle of nowhere, we're walking down and it's kind of overgrown with grass, and here are these little brook trout in there about that big in the middle of nowhere. And it just goes to show you that fish will live in strange, strange places. Now that mountain brook, that's a neat place. This sewage city water coming out that's been treated, not so neat, but equally as beautiful fish. Let's get back after and see if we can get another one. I want to talk to you about the gear we're using here today, folks. It's pretty simple, but it's pretty exciting. And what I mean by that is it's a rod that I've come across, and those of you that bought the Drop Shot Secrets Revealed DVD know that when you bought it, the rod that I used in that video was no longer produced. It had different eyelets on it, and you couldn't find it. I received hundreds of emails about that. So I've been scouring all the different rods, trying to find a rod that was in that dollar range that had the same build, and I think I've found it. What I've got, folks, this is a Berkley Series 1. It's an SOS 701 MH. What that is a medium-heavy 7-foot spinning rod, fast action. It's just like that rod I talked about in the drop shot video, the GS70MH Fenwick. But what's different about this one, what I like about it, is it's got those SS304 guides that I speak so highly of in that video. It's a nice lightweight rod. You're seeing us using it for this. You can use this thing for bass, you can use it drop shot. It's a great all-around rod, but it's a rod that's going to be comparable to the rod that I was using in that video and so many of you could not find. The reel that we're running, because I've had some complaints, I run the Quantum PT reels, and I'm really getting into the Abu Garcia stuff now. You know, I've used Garcia stuff for years, and I like the reliability of it, and I like the functionality of it. And what we found is we're running a Abu Garcia 501 ALB. It's a nice small reel here. You can see in the palm of my hand, so it's nice and lightweight. The setup is lightweight, what you're going to want to have for this type of fishing as well as drop shotting. And then what we've done is we've gone to the Fireline Crystal. And I've had a lot of emails in regards to Crystal and what I've thought about it. And people have asked me if I'm running it straight to the bait, and I'm not. I'm still running my fluorocarbon leader. But what I like about this line is it ties a better knot than the old charcoal Fireline. It's smoother and it's softer. And it seems to cast a lot better and it seems to handle a lot better. But it's just 6-pound Crystal rigged up with that rod right there. It's Berkley Series 1 on that little Garcia, guys. Great, great package for the price right there. Feels like a pretty good fish, guys. Hard to tell. I'm way out on the tail end of this thing right here. He's coming in now. I think he just faked me out. We'll gotta bring him across the chute here. He's swimming up into the chute. Here he comes. Haven't seen him yet, guys. Oh, there, Bubba. Oh, there he goes, going that way. There he is. Not a big fish, but man, is he ornery. Look at that guy pull that rod. Right there, guys. Oh, he got him underneath the chin. He hit it once and missed it, and he swatted at it, got him underneath the chin right there. That's why he was pulling so hard, had him in a funny angle. There, guys. Still a beautiful little fish, though. All right, buddy. See ya. All right. The old redfish magic's doing it here. Let's see if we can keep it going. Folks, what we're doing here is pretty simple. We just got this Strike King redfish magic on an 1/8-ounce jig head, running it barbless. What we're doing, basically we've got two areas that we're hitting on where they hold at. I've fished this for a lot of years and I kind of know where they're holding at, but they'll do the same thing if you find an area in your area that's like this. What they're doing is you'll have a group of fish that'll hold right where it's dumping out. And those are your active feeding fish right in there. Then what you'll find is you'll have resting fish. Right where this makes a bend and the main river current's pushing into it, it makes a mixing point right there. And what you'll find when this starts to slow down up front where it's getting discharged and the heaviest current is, those fish will start to slide back, and they'll be right in that mixing point. They'll stay right on the edge of that frothy water in the river. So all we're doing, we'll bounce through here a few times. We don't get any strikes. I'll make one long cast just like this. Casting out into the river a little bit. I'll let some line roll off the reel. I'll clip it down. And basically all I'm doing is back trolling that seam right now. And I'm just forcing them to eat. It's just kind of flashed in front of their face, that tail's kicking. And I'm just getting them while they're resting. You combine that with the color change. And folks, you can stay in a spot like this all day long and catch fish from sun up to sundown. Just got to stay on top of them. Folks, I want to show you this little fish right here. I'm not trying to impress you with its massive size. This is what they refer to as a pike minnow right here. And these guys are an actual indicator when you're fishing these areas like this. I want to put this guy back. A lot of people would throw that fish on the bank because they think it's eating their rainbow fry. I don't believe in doing that. I'll turn him back here. But what that is, that's an indicator to me that I'm on the tail end of my ability to fish this. And what I mean by that, traditionally we fish these during the cold water months. You're looking anywhere from October through till about May, June. And we're sitting right now at the first part of June. And what happens, this water is starting to warm up above. And this water up above, when the sun beats down on it, when it's sitting in the big cooling pools, or the, whatever you want to call it, processing pools, it gets warm. And when it gets released out into here, this water is a lot warmer than that river water. And what's happening, when you start to see those pike minnow moving in, that means it's not long and the rainbows will be gone. It's just too warm for them. So keep that in mind. Those fish are an indicator for you of what's actually going on underneath. There he is, guys. We got him. His head shaking pretty good. Oh yeah. Barbless hooks here. Look at that, guys. He is not, look at him pulling line. That fish is not that big, but man, is he feisty. Look at that. Unreal. That's what you got to love about the rainbow trout. Look at how beautiful that fish is right there. If my buddy John was here, my taxidermist friend, he'd be complimenting the gold scale tippings on that fish. It's hard to see with the camera, but just the gold tippings on those scales, just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful fish, guys. All right, buddy. See ya. Right there, folks, we switched up. We were running the pumpkin, which is a brown color, with the chartreuse tail. And we ran through there and caught, I don't know, 4 or 5 fish, and they quit biting. Simple, quick thing to do. When they do that, you don't necessarily have to get away from that bait because they obviously like it. What's happened is it's a small area. We've drifted through there several times. They got used to seeing that come through there. So I put on this, basically a purple color here, with the same chartreuse tail. Boom, start catching fish again. This is awesome, guys. An incredible fish in just an area you would just not think about. There's something that's so unique and different, and everybody drives by it. Oh, there's one right there. Coming in, guys. Coming in pretty easy. See what we got here. What's going on, buddy? Oh, another little pike minnow. Another pike minnow, guys. Means we're right on the tail end of it. Another week or so and these rainbows will be out of here. All right, there's still a few for the taking. Let's keep working at it. Folks, you may be asking yourself why the fish are so heavily concentrated in an area like this where you got treated wastewater coming out. And basically there's a couple things that are happening here. One is the temperature change. This water in here, as we talked about earlier, this water is warmer than that water out there in the main body of the river. And I've had my best luck fishing this section right here in January when it's bitter cold out. The fish all congregate into this area, and it's because of the warmer water. The warmer water also makes this area more fertile. If you look at the rocks, there's a lot of moss on the rocks, a lot of slime on the rocks, and that's places for all your planktons and stuff to live. There's a lot of food forage in here. If you look around, you'll see a high concentration in these areas of crawdads. Well, those crawdads are what those rainbow trout are feeding on, those small bait fish. There's a lot of nutrients in this water along with that temperature change. But what you got to remember in an area like this, especially when you're fishing for a cold water fish like the trout, once it gets to be in those hot summer months, you'll come into these spots and you'll think I'm lying to you because you won't get anything. You'll just get those pike minnow all day long. And what happens, those trout disperse through the river. And then come again October, November when it starts getting cold, they show back up. And you see a lot of times, if you watch a lot of fishing shows, the hosts, and especially Texas shows, you see a lot of times they're fishing for bass and catfish and such, and they're fishing behind a power generator plant. And what the generator plant's doing is they're bringing in water from that particular lake or reservoir, they're bringing it through to cool. And that water being discharged is warmer than the water in that lake, and it's just congregating those fish. Just like if you're fishing for bass, you're looking for a weed line. If you're fishing walleye, you're looking for structure rock. You're looking for a depth change. You're looking for an area that's going to concentrate or congregate fish. What this is right here, this is that area. It's an area where they're going to concentrate because one, the water's warmer. Two, there's a lot of food. So just keep that in mind when you see one of these areas like that. In here now. Oh yeah. Beautiful little fish, guys. There he goes. All right, didn't have to touch him on that one. Nice little fish. The old redfish magic, guys. This is a bait that we used last season on a show, fishing for smallmouth bass. And in that particular show, we caught just about everything that swam. And we'd caught some rainbows, and we didn't show them on the show. And I'd mentioned it about catching some rainbows on them. And I think a few of my viewers were doubting me because I got a few emails saying, well, we didn't see you catch them on that. Well, guess what, folks? We're doing it today. A bait that was designed for fishing for redfish down in Florida, flats down in Texas. We're using it for trout today. Way down in that seam that I was talking to you about, the two currents are mixing. So what we got here, it feels heavy. Hard to tell, I got a lot of line out. And it's coming in now. Oh yeah, it's a nice rainbow, guys. Nice fish. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. Each one of them's got their own personality, own color. This one here is a little bit lighter than the others. Nice long fish. It's actually a cut bow, guys. A little bit of a hybrid. He's got the cutthroat markings underneath his chin. Long, narrow, skinny fish. Just inhaled that thing right there. Inhaled it. Barbless hook. Pop it right out. Beautiful fish, guys. Beautiful fish. All right, partner. Get you back in there. There he goes. I talked to you about changing up earlier, folks. Well, here's the third change up. In about an hour and a half, we got a red shiner on there now. Just keep moving through the colors and just keep catching fish. All right, let's see if we can't get some more. There he is, guys. Man, this is a good fish. Feels like a good fish. Coming in now. Hopefully he's just coming at us or what he's got. He felt big when he first hit. Oh, yeah, it's a nice one, guys. Oh, look at that one, guys. Beautiful fish. Look right there, folks. Oh, I can hardly get my hand on that one. There, folks, absolute beauty. That fish there will go 18, 19 inches. Got the redfish magic in the corner of his mouth. Tell you what, folks, let's get that fish back in the water. That's a fish we're gonna call it a day on. Tell you what, folks, next time you're driving by your local wastewater treatment facility, power plant, or pulp mill, and you look down and see that water coming out of there, I want you to think about what's swimming around in there and get your rod out of the car and make a few casts. You'll be glad you did. As always, folks, I want to thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week.
For a list of today's gear and techniques, log on to axfishing.com and select AX Journals.